These are questions 6 and 7. And right away, they're both going to be referring to g of x, which is the cosine of the sine of 2x. So right away, we know that we again have a composition of two functions, cosine of x and the sine of 2x. Actually, we have a composition of a composition, so you're going to have to take the derivative of what's inside here for the first chain rule, and then the derivative of this. So we're going to use the chain rule twice, basically. And then what we want to do is use that answer to interpret what the graph looks like. So g prime of x is equal to, the derivative of cosine is negative sine of the sine of 2x, because this is the g of x. So then we want to take the derivative of the cosine, excuse me, of the sine of 2x, which is the cosine of 2x, and then finally we take the derivative of what's inside of that, which is where this 2 comes from. Then we just rearrange the terms a little bit. So notice that sine of the sine of 2x, that's a composition of functions right there. And the 2 is a constant, as is the cosine of x. So it's negative 2 times the sine of 2x times cosine 2x. And so in this case, it's going to be choice A. And then number 7, you want to consider the graph of this function. So what happens when all these questions refer to the graph at pi? So if I put pi in for my derivative, I end up with the sine of 2 pi. Well, the sine of 2 pi is 0, and the sine of 0 is 0. So this becomes 0. The cosine of this would be 2 pi. Doesn't really matter because it's going to be multiplied by 0. So if we have a derivative that's equal to 0, we know that we have a horizontal tangent at that point. That is choice B here. We wouldn't have a vertical tangent, and it wouldn't be increasing or decreasing. It's the rate of the change is exactly 0. So the only one that applies is choice B. The two mathematical ideas here is that the composition of two functions, actually the composition of three functions, we're going to use the chain rule again to take the derivative. And the second idea is that the derivative of trig functions involves substituting the value of x into the function and noticing that the slope of 0 indicates a horizontal tangent. So those are the math ideas. If either one of these you found difficult, please indicate that in your written answer on the survey.